So I was having trouble figuring out what I needed to do to prepare for the first Divisional Cup of Chapter 4 Season 1. And with tournament starting in just 1 week, I needed to come up with some clear, simple steps that will help me get ready to make it out of Contenders. Remember, you need to be in Contenders League, which is 2,000 points in Arena, to participate in the first Contenders Cup. Since you guys have been showing so much support, right now I'm at 570 out of 1,000 subs at the time of recording this video. By the way, be sure to drop a like and sub to the channel if this video helps you out at all. But like I was saying, since you guys have been showing so much support so far, I decided that I'd share these 10 steps with you guys. So you want to make sure you stay to the end of the video because all 10 of these steps are really important. So with no further ado, let's get right into the video. Step 1 is simple. You and your duo need to establish clear roles so you both know what you need to practice on. In my case, I am IGL, in-game leader, so my role will consist of having a drop spot, loot path, and good rotations plan for both an ideal drop, where we're either uncontested or we can quickly win on spawn, and for a scuff drop, where we may have an extra long fight or where we get out dropped to our spot, where in this case we will want to make sure we have a backup drop spot, loot path, and rotations plan for that as well. More things for my role will include me making calls for plays and confirming plays that my teammate, who is a fragger, may also have. And I will be the main tarper for in-game situations too. As I just mentioned, my teammate is the fragger, and his role will consist of being insanely good at fighting, being able to get refreshes in late game situations, and running calls by me before acting on them. This is the traditional setup. But you don't have to go by this. You and your duo can definitely mix these roles around to best fit your guys' skill set and chemistry. You just want to make sure you have these roles clearly established before going into your first tournament so all your focus can be doing the best you possibly can. Step 2 is playstyle. Having an established playstyle is important, especially for dead lobbies. A dead lobby is where there's a lot of people king and there's not that many people left. After like the second or third zone, there's barely like 20 people left. So for a dead lobby, you want to make sure you and your duo establish whether you're going to W key or try to avoid fights during these lobbies. And you want to make sure you make this decision based off of your skill set. So don't pick to W key if you know you guys aren't the best fighters, and if you're really good fighters, then hiding the whole game is going to make you miss out on free points. However, you do want to know that the Contender Cup is placement heavy, 65 points for a Victory Royale versus 1 point per elim. Challengers and Elite is 2 points per elim, but you still get 65 points for a Victory Royale, so it still favors placement in these two. So even if you're good fighters, don't keep dumb fights, and if you're not getting a lot of kills, that's fine, don't force them, because you'll get a lot of your elims and in-game and you can still drop your 20 bomb Victory Royale. Remember that a 0 elimination 5th place is better in every division, even in Challenger and Elite, than a 20 elimination 26th place. Another thing you should know is that if you're doing good and having consistent good games, then your elo is going to go up, which means you're going to get put in lobbies with people on your skill level. So King won't be ideal and you'll want to focus on positioning so you can get surged for those stacked end games. You don't want to get into those long drawn out fights even if you win them, because you'll be in shambles the rest of the game. You have burned all your mats, your heals, and you have to deal with Storm too. If you're IGL, then you want to plan your rotations that fit your playstyle. Here's a gem for making it this far in the video. I put timestamps below, but if you don't want to miss out on more gems like this one, I would recommend watching the video all the way through. Now for the gem. If your playstyle is non-fighting and you're in a dead lobby, do not box up early because you will get keyed. I suggest waiting until everyone else boxes up, which is usually 4th or 5th zone. If you want to hide in a bush or a building, then do it. I'm not sure if there's any AFK spots like last season where you had the Chrome Nados and Rave Cave where you could literally not be eliminated in these spots. But if you guys know any, please let me know in the comment section. If you know, you know. Step number 3 is just picking a good drop spot. This will be mostly on the IGL when it comes to picking the spot, but like I said, every situation is different, and at the end of the day, both you and your duo need to be confidently agreeing on where you will be dropping. I recommend using Fortnite.gg to see what items will be available at your drop. Here's the top 4 things that you will want to find at a good drop spot. You want to have hammers for both you and your duo, heals, metal, and not be overly contested. Both you and your duo will need a hammer. It's too complicated when you're trying to hammer your teammate late game. You'll also need good heals. The meta is one carries bigs and chugs and the other carries minis and chugs. The next one is metal. Now metal, just like hammers, can be tricky. So if you can't get these items on drop, be sure to have a path set up near your drop spot where you can possibly get these items. If you're constantly having single hammer with no metal going into late games, then you'll need to rethink your drop spot, because these items can easily put you in position to win games, considering that a lot of people won't have both of these items. Step number 4 is really important, and that's practicing as a solo. There will more than likely be times where you and your duo can't be on at the same time due to school, sports, work, etc. But you should not allow that to stop you from continuing to improve. I would suggest using the time where your duo isn't on to work on your weaknesses. It could be your editing, your aim, your piece control, your building, any of those things that need work. You can use that time to work on those. Also, playing duos mode like duo arena fields and 2v2 realistic box fights and duo zone wars with randoms or friends can also be helpful. If you're struggling to find people to play with, then you can go into the NAEast or Manu Scrims Discord server, go into the looking for players section and find a random to play those modes with, and you can even run scrims with them too. If you're a streamer or just all about your good vibes, I would suggest making sure that that person is cool so they don't grief your stream or your vibes. Step number 5 is practicing as a duo. When your duo is on, then you want to be doing the same things that I named in step 4, such as the 2v2 realistic box fights, duo zone wars, arena, and scrims. You want to be time efficient though, so if you're IGL, try to have goals set for each grind session, so every session you're improving as a duo. Especially if one or both of you have a busy schedule, you don't want to end up doing counterproductive things because time is valuable. For example, you don't want to be grinding and then someone on your friends list requests to join wanting to play pubs that you know they're just there for fun and they're really not trying to grind. This could be a major setback and a distraction and could grief the time you have to work on improving. Step number 6 is really simple. You just want to have fun while grinding. Whether it's a solo grind or a duo grind, you don't want to burn yourself out. Pick game modes that are fun but also help you improve. You can do aim duels, the maps below for that one. You can do 1v1 realistic box fights, 2v2 realistic box fights against your cracked friends, or just W keying in arena. You can do that as a duo or a solo, but anything like that that helps you get better and you have fun at will make the grind a lot much easier. Step number 7 is knowing how to approach scrims and tournaments. You want to treat scrims like small quizzes to apply everything you've learned. If you can do well in scrims, then you can do well in tournaments. Remember, do not burn yourself out. You want to make sure you give yourself time to reflect and go over film from your games. Then you want to repeat step number 4, where you find your weaknesses and work on those, and that's when you can play more scrims and just keep repeating the process. For tournaments, you want to treat them like an exam. This is where you do the very best you can and use your results to see where you truly are. Step number 8, attitude and vibes. You want to make sure you stay respectful to your teammate, and any problems that you have, just save them for after the game and after tournaments. If you feel yourself getting upset, it's okay to mute your mic. Take a deep breath, because I was taught if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. Also, you can take a 5-minute break to walk away after a rough game because you're never going to be able to play all the games out anyways. At the most, you're going to be able to play out 7. Plus, you're probably mad because you died early, so you're going to have extra time to spare anyways. Make sure you eat before you play as well because you don't want to be hangry. Congratulations, if you've been watching until this point, you've made it to another hidden gem, which is step number 9. Step number 9 is watching film. From practicing as a solo or duo, you should always be saving clips of your gameplay, whether it's in save replay VODs directly on Fortnite, on your platform such as PC or console, or if you're streaming on Twitch, YouTube, or TikTok, just save your past broadcasts and go back and watch it there. This will be the fastest and easiest way for you to tell what you need to work on as a solo and as a duo. And like I just mentioned, watching where you died is very efficient for getting better, but this may require you to do some backtracking throughout the game to see what led up to you dying as well. And whatever that is, whether it's editing, aim, building, piece control, or just simple mistakes, you need to write those things down and go back and practice those after the tournament and after watching film. You also want to discuss with your duo what you guys need to work on based on the film and try to go practice that stuff as a duo as well. This will help you become ready and confident when tournaments start. For example, if you're watching film and you notice that you guys struggle with box fights and your chemistry really isn't up to par, then you want to make sure you go into the 2v2 realistic box fights map. Don't go into public match, because if you go into public match, you're gonna get people that aren't always the best. You wanna make sure you go into like the East Open Discord looking for players, or Manu Scrims looking for players, and just look for 2v2 box fights. Usually those players are gonna be pretty good, or if you got some pretty cracked friends, invite those people to play with you so you can work on your skills together as a duo and build your chemistry and be ready and confident when the next tournament starts. Step number 10 is probably the most slept on step, which I really think shouldn't be slept on as much. But when you're not grinding and you're just chilling, you can really just watch pros play your role. So find pros who you think excel at your role. So say if Clicks plays your role, just watch Clicks. But I know he can be very entertaining. You don't want to watch casually. You want to kind of watch as a student so you can learn as much as possible. Don't get me wrong, taking complete breaks from Fortnite is healthy and a good way to refresh, but if you like to watch Fortnite in your free time, be sure to watch pros and check out YouTube channels like this one. They're always trying to help you improve, you know? Well, there you have it. We made it through all 10 steps of how to get ready for your first divisional tournament of Chapter 4 Season 1. I really hope this video can help you out, because I'm gonna be using this video to help me out as well. And if this video did help you out, please consider dropping a sub and drop a like too, because that'll definitely help me drop more content like this for you. And if you are watching this video midways through the Fortnite season and you've already played multiple tournaments, I strongly believe that this video can still help, because this is just basic general stuff that'll help you get better faster as a solo and a duo. With that being said, I'm not gonna hold you any longer. It's your boy Untitled. I'm out of here. Peace.